How's it going, everyone? It's Coach K here. We're gonna do a quick session today about what's going on in the market, and we're gonna go over BTC and ETH and look at what's going on with Binance. So Binance actually just launched that they're gonna stake XLM. This is coming out. They've also added that to the Neo Thor VeChain staking that they were doing. They're gonna do a monthly airdrop campaign, which will begin with daily snapshots on the 20th of the month, so in 2 days. So you have a couple days to throw your XLM onto Binance and get some stakes and rewards. User must have 10 XLM, etc. So they're gonna drop about $1 million or just under $1 million of XLM. So check it out. That's some big news right there. Now jumping into the market, let's get right through it. Bitcoin has had some moves today, and it's gone kind of up and down, and we're following what we were looking at before. So let's just jump over here and have a quick look at what we were looking at on the weekly chart. So from the weekly chart, let me just bust that out. Okay, so I showed you guys the other day that the weekly always comes back to Kijun, and Kijun, what it means is basically equilibrium. What equilibrium means is that we always try to get back to the middle, right? Like we always have two pieces. It's like magnets, right? You have magnets. If you put them away from each other, they pull away, but eventually they'll turn and they'll snap together. That's kind of what Kijun works like. So how it works basically is every time we get really far away, whether it be bullish or bearish, we're going to come back to this red line, which is the Kijun sign. And as you guys saw from the last bull market, you can see here is we always pulled back, we busted up and came down. And these are all 40% corrections, as we can see. 35, 36, 40, you know, so if you're looking from the top when they corrected, 40%, we're using the fractals because it makes it easy. 42%. So we see that it's happened very many times, and that's why it's something that you should take note of. Now here, you know, people are getting a little bit bullish because Bitcoin at 10K today. It was a great opportunity to short, by the way. And what we see here is we have this buy signal of a TK cross, but they're both really flat, and with the bottom of the cloud coinciding with the Tenkin and the Kijun. I believe we're trying to get back to the Kijun. Now, it might not get all the way there. We could eventually just go and touch that 8750 range, but I do believe we'll probably come back to that zone. Now, we came really close, so it's very possible that was the bottom, but I don't think it is, and it's really hard to say, to be completely honest. No one knows where the bottom is, but because they're so tight together, and because it came pretty close, it could have been a temporary bottom. But I still think that we're going to come down, at least touch the Tenkin at 87, 8800, and we're probably going to touch this very flat Kijun sen. Okay, so if we're looking at it on a shorter time frame, let's say on a 4-hour chart, we see that we've had a nice little movement. We had a nice tweezer bottom over here, and we kind of rose up, and we have this resistance around 10K. We've hit it once, we've hit it twice, and it seems like it's really strong resistance there. And if we look here, it was support over here, it was support over there, and it was resistance in the past. So we see that that is a really important zone that we have to bust through to get to the next level. Okay, so always keep note of that. It's something important. And then we can look at here, where are we going next? So if we're looking at where we're going next, you know, we have on a longer term span, we're trying to get up to that $10,000 range, and we need to break through it, which is also coinciding with the Tenkin on the 4-hour to actually get to the next level. So we're trying to get through there. If we keep hitting this area and bouncing back down, we're likely going to crash all the way back down to what I showed you just before, that $8,000 range. Okay, so right here I showed you 8700. It really coincides nicely with the 786. So we could come all the way back down to here before we make our next move up. And if just to show you how this is not something to worry about, let me show you something right here. 37%. Now, if you look in the past on the weekly, they all were usually between 21 and 28 days where they dropped. And so far we are at day number 21. So maybe this was the bottom and it was a 33% correction and we came close and that was enough, or we drop a little bit further when we get to that level. So these are two things to keep in mind and look for. Ethereum looked very dead yesterday. I'm sure a lot of people agree with me on that one. And it didn't have a very nice look. So broke to the bottom of the cloud on the daily. It broke below Kijun, but now we're super far away from Kijun. And as we know, we always like to push our way back up to the Kijun. So it might be having a nice relief rally here. I do think that Ethereum is not very much, it's not done. I think that we had, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. Now we're probably going to come down a little bit and maybe even test that $180 range. And we just can look at that. Let's go to our most recent swing low. We're at that 786 level, so it could have bounced off that. And now we're kind of coming back to this $230 level. If we go a little bit, let's look on the other side of things here. So this is a nice zone that we might stay in for a little bit, this 192.31 zone, but we have to just wait and see. If Bitcoin goes on a run, Ethereum will probably go with it in the US dollar range, but against BTC it won't. And it's really something important to look at when you're looking here at BTC. So here we see BTC. Ethereum is at pretty much one of the lowest lows it's ever been at since basically the bull run. That's something to really take note of, and it's also something that might be interesting for us to have a look at in the future. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. Our Chiku span is bearish. We crossed above the Tenkin on the 4-hour, so we met a little bit of a Tenkin breakout, but it's kind of struggling in this range right here at that 0.22. But if we do, and this is something to keep in mind and look for, if we do get above this zone right here, above this cloud, and we get back to the 0.25, I think that Ethereum will spark a nice run for alts. Okay, if we don't, I'm not really sure 100%, but I feel like that. One other one I'd also like to draw attention to is Litecoin with the halving coming up, and something as a setup I looked at as well. So Chiku span's trying to get above our price action here. So once this yellow line of Chiku span gets above the price action, if we have this nice Tenkin cross the Kijun and we break into the cloud, this could be a very nice edge-to-edge play for about 8 to 10%. Keep that in mind. It's not a huge roll, but in Litecoin, 8 to 10% is a nice move. I mean, yesterday we went 8 to 10%. We went 20% in a day. So that was really, really nice. And it was a nice recovery for Litecoin. Now, remember one thing. Litecoin generally leads Bitcoin. So if Litecoin starts to go super bullish, Bitcoin generally follows, but it follows late. It's like a lagging span almost. So just keep in mind all those things. So that's basically what's going on. Our total market cap is down a heck of a lot since the top. We're talking about, even today, we're down 1.22 billion, and at the bottom 1.45 billion. Sorry, 145 billion. So it's a lot. It's a lot of money left the market. Will it come back? Probably. I'm quite sure. I'm pretty confident. And another thing to keep your eye on is BTCD. We did basically get to one of the highest highs we've ever been at, and since our before our bull market, before all the ICO boom, and it's still kind of bullish. I wouldn't say that that Bitcoin's dead or anything. If Bitcoin bounces here, alts might suffer more. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so these are things that you should take a note of. Also, the one other really important thing is the CME gap at that 8,500 range. Okay, so we look over here, we can see that there was a gap right there that was not ever filled. Let me turn off. Let me just show you guys something real quick before I go. This gap right here needs to be filled. We got really, really close to it. But this is why we're saying 87. That gap it's a little bit lower than 87. It goes all the way there. This gap, if we fill it, I think that will spark us to the next move, right? So it's something really important to take in consideration and look at. That's basically all I have to say for today. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if you want anything like a prize, we have prizes coming as well. Definitely don't be shy. Comment in the video box. It'd be really appreciated. Tell me what coins you want me to do tomorrow, Friday, and we'll get it done. Have yourselves a great Thursday, everybody, and see you soon. Coach K, signing out.